It was the first day of first grade and a day that I will never forget. I wake up ready to eat some breakfast, but instead my mom is sitting over me. Scared, she asked me, "What did you do with your hair?" As I sat up confused as to what she was talking about, I reached up to touch my head. Why could I feel part of my scalp? Wondering what had happened and still not having fully processed it, I asked my mom, and her simple answer was, "I don't know." And from this point on, alopecia controlled every part of my life. Patch by patch by patch, slowly but surely all my hair fell out. And because of this, throughout all of my school years, I felt like an alien. The elephant in every room, the walking question mark. Questions of, do you have cancer, constant stares, people slapping my hat off, and maybe even a picture every now and again, made me feel like I was Britney Spears, but like the fucked up version. Every glance was noticed and every remark was heard. My senses were hyper-focused on anyone who was judging me, and the constant worry controlled me. It caused me to never leave my shell. But, I had a reason to be insecure, right? I was a fucking 14-year-old, 5', 70-pound kid, fully bald with no eyebrows and the voice of a gerbil. Oh, you think I'm joking? Okay, watch this.
Play, bro! Stop trying to play me, bro! I'm not playing no more!
Don't be trying to play me.
Yeah, that was me. And as you can see, with the hat on as always, the scared little boy that wanted to be normal and fit in stayed throughout high school. I deemed myself inadequate in almost every interaction. I couldn't even dream of being that guy with confidence and strength. How could I? I felt doomed, cursed. Why me? Why couldn't I just be normal? Why couldn't I just be like everyone else? I would ask God these questions all the time and I never got an answer. But this question was mine to give the answer to. Alopecia would never change under my will. I can't tell my body to magically grow hair. I can't eat certain things and it will come back. It just won't. This is the hand I was dealt. Life is unfair and sometimes there are certain things you just can't change. But feeling inadequate or feeling other and dwelling on it is always a choice. And it's a choice riddled with blame and unaccountability. There's no long-term solace in blame. Blame is the easiest action to choose and no growth comes from it. When everything is God's fault, or that bully's fault, or your mom's fault, there is no resolution. The only growth can come from accountability. No, I wasn't responsible for my alopecia, and I never will know who is or what is. But the accountability comes in allowing this thing to dictate who I was in a negative way. Allowing self-pity and hate to build for something that didn't deserve to be hated was in itself a pity. In reality, this thing was secretly a blessing. And the blessing was hidden inside the curse. Since I was so different and didn't fit in, I had more time to be myself. And it meant I could focus on things that I actually liked. It meant making a clothing brand in 10th grade. It meant making YouTube videos and expressing my humor. All these things that were unorthodox. It meant that I have a story to tell. And by overcoming this obstacle and being strong, I could help so many others do the same thing. And it's funny seeing how all the things everyone focused on in high school were so pointless. In the real world, your value to society means way more than how you look. Your value in society is determined by your mentality, your intellect, and your will. If your mind and your energy is beneficial for the world, you will be loved by someone no matter how you look. Because it's deeper than that. And in trying to fit in and be others so much, people never get the chance to really understand themselves. I never got the chance to fit in, so I tell whoever or whatever caused this, thank you. And sure, there were times of extreme sadness. Who wants to get called cancer boy and have every girl scared to touch you because they might catch what you have? There were times of depression and even thoughts of saying the world would be so much better without me. But luckily, I had some people in my life who showed me love was deeper than the surface. I had a blessing that others may not have. I had parents who loved me and cared for my emotions. I had some friends like Ivan and Yui who never put me down and supported everything I do. And it's a natural human desire to want to be accepted by people. But this viewpoint and these people let me know there is no one coming to rescue me from my insecurities. It's my duty to face them, or they will control every aspect of my life and eventually lead to my demise. When this realization came, it helped me, but it also crippled me with regret. So many of the things I didn't do in high school because alopecia limited me. Who could I have been if I had realized this sooner? This realization that took me 16 years to understand was solely rooted in fear and was a choice. It was a fear of not fitting in, fear of being embarrassed, fear of what every single person thought about me, fear that I could never be normal. And who could be mad at me? What high schooler doesn't want to be normal? What high schooler doesn't want to fit in? We have no clue what the bigger picture is when we're in it. It's hard to step back and gain clarity, but liberation came when I understood that it was a choice to live this way. Liberation came when I decided I'm not the perceptions that other people have of me. I'm just me. And those that fuck with me, and those that don't, won't. Liberation came when I realized the mind was more important than the physical. We don't remember the high school prom king or the football team captain. We remember the scientists and the philosophers who added real value in the world. And I'm proud to say I've came closer to overcoming alopecia than I ever have before. I'm able to be on camera with my hat off. I'm able to believe people when they tell me they love me. I'm able to go out to social events, receive all the stares, and feel very confident and secure still. Able to talk to girls and not wonder if they're thinking, ew, why this nigga ain't got no eyebrows? Alopecia wasn't a curse, it was my gift. While the world searches for ways to be different, I naturally am. And I'm sure you are too. Things that we can't control shouldn't interfere with the progress that should be made in life. We all have things we need to work on. So many ways we can improve our habits and daily activities, but the ones we can't improve must be let go, or they will forever limit us. Society is cruel and it's full of judgments and social castrations that feel like the only thing that matters in the world. But when your perspective is healthy and your reassurance of adequacy come from within, nothing can break you. And any hate or doubt is just fuel to prove to yourself and everyone that this shit doesn't define me. I'm more than alopecia or dyslexia or progeria. Yeah, there are a lot of things you can't do, but there's still so much that you can. Depression leaves when you start focusing on what you can do and what you're good at rather than how ugly and dumb and inadequate you are. And when we finally understand that, the world becomes our oyster. So if you have moles on your face, acne, too many freckles, hairy arms, a bad hairline, alopecia, cellulite, some stretch marks, a small dick, a weird vagina, some saggy ass titties where like one goes this way and like the whatever, let it go. Because people that like you will like you, and people that don't won't. And if you have an insecurity that is in your control, if you deem fit, improve it. But if you can't do anything about it ever, just let it go. You have to gain control over these feelings because if you don't, they will control your entire life and will lower your ceiling forever. You will live with so much regret and your life will be worse off because of it. Then one day you'll be 40 and all you'll be left with is a life that wasn't lived because of what other people thought of you. So be yourself. You know I gotta do the ritual. If you like that video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and you watched a couple videos and you fucking with it, subscribe, bro. It'd be appreciated. I'm trying to form a little community over here. So, thank you. Yeah, I just spent all day editing this shit. So, I'm about to go to sleep now. Oh, and also, thank you to Sam Burns. And, I'm gonna just add this in at the end. Like, if you still here, thank you. I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm gonna just ramble. If you're still here, thank you. I appreciate you. Sam Burns at the end of his video. At the end of his TED Talk, rest in peace Sam Burns, by the way. He didn't inspire this video, but in doing my research for this video and doing the research in myself, I saw a lot of parallels between him and myself. He had this thing called the philosophy to happiness, or the philosophy to being happy, and he had progeria. So he had progeria, and he had this list. So anyways, this is my list, and this is the list for overcoming insecurities. It's 5 things. It's number 1, distinguish insecurities that you can fix and can't fix to your discretion. I'm not going to explain these. I'm going to let y'all understand them. But number 2, understand the value you add to the world is deeper than your appearance. Number 3, this deformity has privileged you with a story that is unlike any other. You are innately different. Fitting in is the death of individuality. Number 4, living for others or in the opinions of others will always make your emotions dependent on validation. I think that's my favorite one. Number 4 and number 5 are my favorite one. And number 5 is dwelling in pity will never ever make it feel better. No one will come and save you. You must save yourself. So like I said, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. It's much appreciated. We on the road to 1K. So let's get to 1K.